Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
So I'm back with a nothing video. Yeah, for those of you who are new to my channel or videos, the Nothing series is where I just go without a script, just speak on reflections of life, nothing to impress anyone. You know, what you see is what you get kind of video. It's kind of popular with some of the guys because speak from the heart. So yeah, anyway, in today's nothing video, it's more like, you know, emptying your heart, emptying what's in your mind. In today's nothing video, nothing series or whatever, I want to give you my experience of coming back home after nearly 32 days of being with a VIP client. Now, just to give you a backstory, I am, you know, I get a lot of clients here and there, and sometimes they turn out to be high profile once a while. So I got this high profile guy, and he has the money, and you know, he was impressed with my work, and you know, he kind of he found it amusing, my online persona, and which is part of me, it is not fake. And so he decided to employ my services. We tried one project, two project, three projects, small ones. Very soon he offered me a project whereby, can't give out details, but anyway, where I would be with him for nearly a month. Initially, we thought it would be 2 weeks, extended to 3 weeks, finally went 4 weeks, and finally went, you know, 32 days, which is huge for me at least, because normally my projects are short, sweet, to the point. I guess one of the reasons why I agreed was, yes, money, obviously, because money is very important, but you know, I was kind of comfortable with the guy. It's not just the money. I need to know the person. I need to be comfortable, have a working relationship. So finally I agreed, and we went on this 32-day trip. See, let me tell you, the experience by itself was like, whew. The money and the show of wealth and the fast pace, the security, the girls, the alcohol, the expensive food, the expensive lifestyle, the snobbery, the egos. You know, there's the good, the bad, whatever, everything mixed. But it was a bit too much for me. You know, like a sensory overload, you know. Like, for example, to give you an analogy, let's say you're accustomed to listening to a small radio, radio, like a device, and listening to quiet music, you know, like soft music, which is not very loud. And all of a sudden, I take you to a nightclub where there's lights and sounds and the music is blasting through the ears and everyone's screaming and shouting and strobe lights and all. You'll be like, what the hell, you know? Or it's like, imagine someone in Africa who has seen a hut living with poor people where even water, you have to travel for maybe 10 miles just to get drinking water. And all of a sudden you're taken to a New York penthouse where they ask you sparkling, you know, the butler asks you, you want sparkling water, or, you know, you want a jacuzzi or whatever, caviar. And so for me, uh, it felt like that. Now, even though I have seen life in Dubai, I've gone to Burj Al Arab here and there, seen rich people. This has been nearly like, I don't know, uh, I think 10, 11 or 15 years since I really experienced the full-fledged. Like, I would say roughly at least 6 years since, or 6 or 7 years since I experienced this kind of lifestyle and wealth. And it was not mine anyway. Day in and day out, waking up early in a hotel room and going for a breakfast buffet with all that rich food, and then everyone meeting with suits and morning, how are you? And you, how's your day? You sleep well? uh, and then the women wearing perfume and amazing outfits, and everyone with their snobbery best. And then you go into the conference rooms and everyone with suits and secretaries, and yeah, and then traveling in cars and limos and expensive parties and penthouse and eh, and then going to expensive places. After all that was over, no, after being with all the photographs and videos and this and that, I finally came back here. Now see, just imagine, look at this road, okay? Just imagine this. This is how life is for me here. Okay, you can see, no? Hardly, almost no cars, except this one which is coming with someone staying here. There's no cars, there's no traffic. I can walk without a shirt. It's totally silent. Now just imagine the reverse of this. Bumper to bumper cars, traffics, horns, everyone going fast, and people walking like New York. I wasn't in New York anyway. Like people walking with their smartphones and talking, and the train and metro, whatever you call it. Early morning, your Starbucks or overpriced coffee. Oh, doggy. Overpriced coffee. And so when I came back, you'll not believe. Just imagine, I've been here for now 6 years. I felt very strange coming back here. Seriously, huh? It felt very strange. I'm still trying to get acclimated to the place. I'm finding it strange walking like this. I found it strange to be in my room. In fact, I'll tell you, when I just walked into my house, I looked at my house, it felt so strange. I was like, whoa, so many books. And, the place is very narrow, I felt. And when I walked into my room, my office studio, I was like, wow, look at the lights, so bright. Look at the monitors, so many. So, oh, imagine I was looking at my MacBook Pro all these days in a dim light in the hotel room. Now it felt like, oh, what a big screen, my iMac. Oh, what another big screen. Oh, what is this gaming monitor? I was like, seriously, I was like, wow, what is all this? And then even to adjust and feel the keyboard, the mouse, the stuff, I felt it strange. It was just a sensory, like just a blast of, information coming through my eyes and ears. And then it was like I felt the room. In fact, when I put on music, oh, it's too loud, man. The bass was too high, the treble was too sharp. I was like, sheesh, listening in a quiet hotel room and versus this. And then I couldn't even sleep, man. Imagine, once upon a time, my bed was able to get sleep on the floor. I was lying down. I was like, hey, this feels strange. Normally, I would put on the full fan, full AC. It's like, this is too cold. In fact, even the food that I ate outside, I was like, yeah, it tasted much better, but it still felt strange. It's so funny me saying this, like, and I'll tell you what is the lessons. You may be surprised because I was. I just found everything strange. I found everything. In fact, let me tell you this: when I was in Bangkok, I don't know. I'm not ashamed to tell you this, but when I was in Bangkok, it kind of rekindled that playboy Loy inside me. All of a sudden, I was noticing girls. I was looking at their waist, their belly buttons, their features, and I was actually tempted to flirt around. I was actually tempted to, go to, places where there were girls and maybe go to a bar or not bar, sorry, these places where you can get girls. And I was actually thinking of, maybe just have a nice session with one girl and nobody will know about it. And by the way, I shared this with my wife. It's so amazing that for a guy like me who said goodbye to his past, who said goodbye to his playboy days, all of a sudden it was a spark that woke me up again. It's like it suddenly awoken that sleeping beast. I wanted to, spend time with women. I wanted to experience a past life. I was eating all sorts of expensive stuff, and I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you this. Even though most of the expenses, were taken care of, I still spent more than $10,000, 10,000 US dollars. Let that sink in 1 month. Even though most of the expenses were taken care, because I was being with those rich people and hanging out, it just felt so normal. In fact, when I came back here and I saw the cost for the food and all that, it just struck me the very dishes or which has to think, sheesh, this is so expensive. Like, for example, ordering a pizza would be 300 baht, or going for a buffet would be 200. There in Bangkok, for example, one of the cities that we visited, the starting meal is 200 baht, starting meal. Yes, you can have cheap, but when you're hanging around with the rich, just maybe a croissant would be 200 baht. Maybe just a coffee would be 180 baht, And here, where I stay, 200 baht is the buffet. I was just shocked. I was like, sheesh, man. Once upon a time, this 200 baht, I used to think, okay, I can eat, 30 baht or 40 baht, save money. All of a sudden, when I go to this Bangkok and live this life, I come back and I just realize that before, what I was to perceive as expensive, I suddenly realized that was cheap. I ended up spending 10 times more, feeling it was normal. In fact, if you see my shorts, I purchased the Apple products, everything. Apple Watch, AirPods Max, AirPods Pro, a base for my iMac. Now, to tell you honestly, I didn't need all this. And if I was in Samui here, I would never buy it. Never. But because I was there, it just felt so natural. I was tempted to buy so many things. It's funny, right? For the guy who wanted to live a simple life, 1 month was enough to distract him and tempt him into all these crazy things. I just realized that your environment, no, the place that you live, the people you surround yourself with, the different variables that are around you that affect your senses, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your your heart, your brain, whatever. It will change you, man. Like for example, my wife who used to eat just rice and like soup or rice and just pork every day morning. Now she is eating fruit salad. She likes fruit salad. She likes a variety. Why? Because 32 days she was, eating a buffet, expensive buffet. Now she wants to have like a buffet style. In fact, now ever since we came back, she has been making breakfast. She makes like a fruit salad, yogurt, and egg, and meat and rice, and she's trying to replicate that life. But yeah, because I'm aware of what's going on. I'm very aware. I make sure that I keep things into check, into perspective. So I told my wife, these 32 days were a fantasy exception. Don't mistake it to be our normal life. She knows if she doesn't comply, she can go back to the village, be there for, a couple of months, re-experience her poverty and come back here. But thankfully, she's not like that. But she did get influenced. She did get influenced to, want to look stylish. My wife never put makeup. There, she actually bought one cheap makeup set. I was observing all this, but I just kept quiet. It's so funny, man. I don't know if I had to give you a important lesson or a moral of the story, I would say be careful where you stay. Be careful who you interact with day to day. Be careful who are the people surrounding you. Be careful who are your friends. Be careful what content you consume. Be careful what you watch. Be careful what you experience. Because it will change you, man. If, imagine for me, a guy who has always been aware of things and who gave up all this, 32 days were enough to drag me back into being that Loy I once said goodbye to, the playboy, the crazy guy, the impulsive, the wanting to experiment with sex. And it, it just shocked me like, bloody hell, man. That playboy it's like it was hidden there, like a monster in a box. Like you have these movies, Marvel movies, where this monster is in this casket or this steel door or rock hard uh, coffin, like, and suddenly the evil comes out. Yeah, it just messed up my head, man. And that is I realized, like, if tomorrow I were to send my child for college or something, who knows, the child can go the wrong way. If my wife were to live in that city, who knows. I told my wife, if we lived in that place for longer, I would have ended up cheating you. I would have ended up sleeping with some other women. And 100% I would break up with you. 100%. Even if you're good, you're nice, whatever. Because that temptation to want to experience life, be single, have fun. Oh man, the temptation just came back. It was scary. I told my wife, I spoke to my wife about everything. I said, I told all of a sudden I was looking at other women, I was looking at your figure was not looking nice. In fact, I'll tell you this is very private. Normally, I would have sex like once in 2 weeks or very rarely once a week. When I was there with, on this 32-day trip, we were literally having sex almost every 3 days. My wife was like, "Oh, your sexual libido has come back." I just realized, fuck, man, what the hell is happening here? And trust me, it was not the food or all that temptation and this thing which was affecting me. Looking at other women and getting lustful and turned on, and I was actually my wife's features were actually bothering me. Oh, her breasts are not as good as that. Her waistline is not as good as that. Her shape, her figure. Oh, the sex we should have this way, that way. Ah, man. You know, it's incredible how much all this impacts you. Just think, for a guy like me, who's always so aware, who assumed that all this was left behind, just 32 days was enough to bring it all out. Thankfully, I was able to have a grasp of all this. Just imagine if you're in your 20s or 30s and you're not aware. Yeah, so like I was saying, when I came back, oof, I'll tell you, when I came back to my room, it was like, wow, what the hell is this? Seriously, it was like, wow, the light, and it just shocked me. It was just too much. For a place that it was second nature to me. I just sat on my chair. I was like, seriously, I just sat on my chair. I was just looking like this. I was like, wow. I didn't move. Even the food, I was not able to eat so well. Sleep, I was like, I dozed off, but I woke up feeling very strange. Everything was strange. Even now, I'm still trying to get over it. So, yeah, if I had to leave you with a worthwhile message today, it would be, I think, you know, your personality, your behavior, your weakness, your strengths, your temptations are all based on where you are living right now. If you're living in Canada, it would be different. If you're living in Amsterdam, red light district, it would be different. If you're staying in Mumbai, it would be different. Staying in UK, it would be different. Australia, it would be different. You're staying in a village, it would be different. In India, back in your hometown. I'm telling you, just imagine and visualize. You'll be different. Let's say you're in Saudi. Can't do much there, right? The second one is your friends. Who are the people surrounding you? Or forget your friends. Even your office colleagues can impact you, man. All these days, I was getting a bloody headache, man. I just couldn't be me. It was like, yeah, I was me, but I just didn't feel free. So just imagine if you're with office colleagues you don't like, or your family members who are toxic, or even if family members you're comfortable with, maybe you just want space. In between, we traveled to the village. I met the other family members. But there also, I couldn't be me. I was constantly bombarded with other people. Then, yes, the lifestyle, the food, the expenses, the pace at which you live your life. I was not able to do my exercise, not able to do my videos. Yeah, the money was good and experience was different. It, I, just like let's say for example, a woman who has always been loyal and faithful to her husband, and one fine day she decides, okay, for 1 week I'll go and be this wild, crazy female, promiscuous, and nobody will know, and then the person lives their life the way they want, and then they come back. It's that thing back of your head is like, what did I do? Or, so yeah, if anytime in your head you have always been thinking, sheesh, I need to change my environment, I need to change the place I stay, I need to change my family, I need to change my friends, my workplace, maybe there's a sense of reality in that. Maybe there is a truth in it. For me, I'm just shocked at what I've realized, shocked at what I experienced. You think you know everything, but you get surprised with something. And for me, this was shocking. Anyway, I'm still trying to get used to it. It'll take me 2 to 3 weeks to get used to it. But yeah, eventually I know I'll get there. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you surprised? Not surprised? Is this something you're going through? I'd love to know your thoughts. All right. So guys, it's great to be back. I'm just glad. Anyway, you guys take care. All right. Ciao.